Good morning and
Good morning.
welcome back to the vlog. This morning we are actually eating at Delta's Kitchen here in the guest house. We are going to have the buffet, and then after that we have
Elvis 101.
with who's all that.
I don't even know. I'm so confused because there's so many different events and things. But this one's going to be cooler because it's in the theater at the hotel. And that's where they do the Elvis movies every night. But they won't be doing them now because of all the events. That would be nice. It would be nice and comfortable in there.
Yeah. And then after that, we are going to actually go see the jeweler again today because my mom is actually going to get jewelry today or talk to him about getting jewelry. And then we're going to go see the winner of the tribute show perform.
No, he's not he's the winner from a couple years ago, Dean Z.
No, Cody is performing again.
Oh, that's a
today.
different Cody.
Oh, a different one.
That's the Cody that had won before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to go
Cody.
see past winners of the tribute contest, and then tonight we have the 68 comeback special.
Yep.
So a little bit here and there, not too much. Tomorrow is going to be our fully packed day, so today we're just taking it light, gonna go see what's going on, try to have a full day, make the best of it.
Yep. All right, time to eat. Bye.
For breakfast this morning, we are going to be eating at Delta's Kitchen. Here's a look at the menu, but they also have a buffet that we opted into getting. It comes with turkey bacon, sausage, granola, eggs, waffles, literally anything and everything you can think of. Prime rib, it's all there. So we're gonna go with the buffet option, which was only $25 compared to the menu items. Alright, here's a look at the food. My mom got biscuits and gravy. She got the prime rib, bread pudding, fruit, regular bacon, potatoes, scrambled eggs, cinnamon roll, grits. I got fruit, turkey patty, scrambled eggs, potatoes, English muffin, salsa. I got Cool Whip. I don't know what it's for. Banana nut. And then look at the cute little Elvis syrups. We don't have anything to put syrup on, but she wanted to steal it. The coolest part of breakfast is this guitar waffle. That's pretty cool. Like the Mickey waffles. What? Yeah, they have Mickey waffles at Disney. You didn't know that? So Mickey waffles to Elvis waffles. Quick little switch up for me. It is negative 40 degrees in this hotel.
Yes,
And-
their air definitely works.
Yeah. What did you think of breakfast?
It was very good.
Yeah.
Actually, it was only $21 plus tax.
Oh,
Yeah, so that must have been the price including tax. So no, that was a good deal. And we had a $10 voucher, so it was really $40.
yeah. So now we are in the guest house theater, and there actually was a cat that wasn't supposed to be in here.
Yeah.
He was in the what's this called?
Well, this is where they do the movies for Elvis.
Like the film room,
Yeah,
and then he ran down across the stage.
all across all the people's feet. They were all yelling. The lady who works here is like, "What is that?" It's a cat. And then he ran up on the stage, and now we don't know where he's at.
Yeah, I thought he was just like
Yeah, poor
meant to
little
be in
thing.
here. But anyways,
Oh, you know what? Remember all the cats that were outside last time we were here? Remember Liv was trying to get the cat from under the car and we were trying to give him food?
yeah.
So I bet you he got in from outside.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
he did look a little skinny. So he's somewhere.
Yeah, there was a lot of stray cats. The last time we were here in March, I think it was, we
April.
found
There was a bunch.
probably like 4 or 5 different stray cats outside.
We were trying to give him food and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so
probably
that's
what it was.
probably, poor thing.
But
He's
now
probably scared to death.
we are in Elvis 101 waiting for the show to start. So we will see you after that.
Angie Marchese. My partner in crime. Yes, good to see you. Good to see you.
So the restraining order hasn't been issued yet.
Yeah, it's good.
We're still together.
It's caught up in the legal system of Memphis. That really works well, so I'm sure it will.
A very timely subject for today that I'm going to speak about is the 68 comeback special. And with the 55th anniversary of it being tonight, even though I feel like it was just like Tom said, the 50th anniversary 2 weeks ago, we're going to talk about the 68 comeback special.
Okay.
So, huh? Oh, thank you. Yeah. Gosh, I guess now 6 years ago, when Baz came to start doing research for the Elvis film and lived in archives for a month, he would say, I want every document you have about X, like Elvis in Vegas or Aloha from Hawaii. And so what we would do is we went through and we copied every document, put it in chronological order, and made these binders for him. So this is Baz's 68 special binder. And it has every document that we have in the collection from Colonel Parker's collection about the 68 special. So what I thought we would do is we would just flip through and see what interesting documents that we can find and talk about. And that's where some of these fun documents come in. This one is dated July 17th, 1968. And this is to Colonel from Bob Finkel. It's right, it's not so it's right there. I found that yesterday.
This is from Bob Finkel to Colonel. Just a note to thank you for the champagne. Jane and I have had some lovely dinners toasting you and Mrs. Parker. Janie joins me in thanking you for your kindness. The editing of the Presley show is coming along fine. I have seen one rough cut, and it seems to me that it is the most exciting television special ever done. Elvis comes through as the king. His performance is indescribably brilliant. When we get it all together and ready, I'll let you know. Warmest regards, Bob. That's July of 69.
July of 69. So literally they just commenced filming. It had just finished in June, and in July 17th, they've already got the first rough edit of it.
Yeah.
And everyone is starting to get excited and see what we all saw December of 68.
Yeah. Wow.
So the first slide I have is actually another letter from Bob Finkel to Steve Bender. We're going back in time a little bit. This is June 17th, 1968. You want to read it? Or can you read it?
I can't read it. I can too.
Yeah.
Would you kindly inform your staff that in the interest of best working conditions for Elvis, that you try to keep each individual rehearsal segment in a to a minimum of people. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, they're going to tell Elvis he can't have his guys. Yeah.
There's a reason why.
It has come to my attention that Elvis has a tendency. Oh God, I wish I could read this. Has a tendency to be distracted and.
Especially since we are working under different conditions than the normal motion picture schedule would be. Also, please be advised that at the recording session, a strict no visitors policy should be instituted. This is to say, only the direct concerned with the session should be present. Thank you very much for giving this your attention. Cordially, Bob Finkel.
So what is essentially in Hollywood called a closed set?
Yes.
Who only people working that need to be in the room.
Were allowed to be in the room.
Right.
Because they would distract Elvis.
Then a medley of Jailhouse, Heartbreak, Don't Be Cruel, Can't Help Falling in Love, Hound Dog, Blue Suede, Love Me Tender, All Shook Up, U.S. Mail. Then Anything That's Part of You. Then an old Shep type country song. Then a country song. Then Cotton Candy Land. How Would You Like to Be? Then an original rock type song. Then 3 gospel songs. A reprise of Guitar Man. Then a small town bring down type original song. Then Let Yourself Go, Guitar Man. Then Big Boss Man. Then It Hurts Me with Guitar Man. And then Little Egypt.
And then Trouble, Guitar Man reprise, and ending with song number 28, A Christmas Song, and then Guitar Man reprise again.
Well, Jerry Reed would have been really happy with this one.
But that's June 3rd. They started shooting less than 3 weeks later.
And by then, the song that is 27th on the list, Trouble, is the opening song. That's what Steve Bender and Billy Goldenberg did.
Yes.
Amen.
This letter right here. And this letter actually is on display in the new 68 exhibit, so if you guys get a chance to go see it. But this letter is dated August 21st, 1968.
And they don't have that on
Yeah, they don't have that one.
Dear Tom, last night in the executive screening room at NBC, we saw the Elvis Presley special. With me were Abe Lasvogel of the William Morris Agency, Mr. Harry Jenkins, George Parkhill, Bob Jones, Glenn Landon of RCA, Tom Diskin. Also present, Bob Finkel, Steve Bender, and some other people. After the screening, I had the following discussion with Mr. Finkel and Mr. Bender. I strongly voiced my concern that the Christmas song, Blue Christmas, was left out of the show, and I strongly insist that it be put back on my behalf. Also, Elvis Presley's, knowing you were on vacation, this is the best I could do at present. I'm just channeling Tom Hanks. If you remember, the last time I visited your office, I explained to you that the Christmas song, I'll Be Home for Christmas, had been deleted from the program. You promised that a Christmas song would be included in the program. I, of course, took your word for it. I would appreciate your correcting this first of all. Oh, this is a 2-page letter from Colonel. Oh, I don't even... If the inclusion of one Christmas song poses such a problem as was explained to me last night, for reasons that are hard to understand when Little Egypt the Fan Dancer is included in the program, I suggest we put this show on ice until next summer and do a complete Christmas show for this fall as per our contract, for it does call for a Christmas show. I've discussed this letter at length with Mr. Presley. He is well aware of its contents and agrees with me fully. Mr. Finkel knows about the Christmas song. I have spoken at length about it to him. I hope you have a nice vacation. And let me know when we can see the show in its complete form with the Christmas song included. Kindest regards, the Colonel. P.S. It is very important that Mr. Harry Jenkins receives as soon as possible all the tapes of all the material, whether it is in the show or not, as per our agreement, so we can start planning our fall productions to help promote this great TV show for all concerned. We can't wait until the last minute, as there is a lot of work to be done. He'd better sing, Here Comes the Santa Claus.
This letter is why Baz referred to not only the Christmas song, but also the infamous Christmas sweater that was totally make-believe. There was never a sweater involved anywhere in the special, but this is the letter that kind of brought those two pieces together.
And the Christmas sweater became a kind of like a MacGuffin.
Yeah.
Google that. It's something that seems to be so important it doesn't really exist, but it became a symbol of Colonel Parker's a visual symbol of Colonel Parker's frustration
yes.
of trying to get that Christmas.
The Christmas back into the Christmas special. Because
if you think about it, if in the movie they're completely shooting Christmas scenes that they know are not going to be in the TV show. Mm-hmm. Nobody does that. You don't build a set and have choreography and have dancers for something that's just a farce to keep Colonel quiet.
Unless you get letters like that.
Unless you get letters. Please welcome John Jackson with an incredible story of Hound Dog. We now present for you Elvis 101, The Curious Case of Hound Dog.
That's right. I was thinking, actually, talking to somebody after I had seen the Baz Luhrmann movie about Hound Dog, and we were just talking about he goes on TV a couple of times, and the story behind it, and gets in big trouble and this and that, and I thought, wow, that's a really fascinating story. So that we're going to tell you that right now, if that's all right. So the original song was written in 1952, and it had been commissioned by Johnny Otis for an artist he worked with called Big Mama Thornton, and it was written by Jerry Lieber and Mike Stoller, who were not Lieber and Stoller yet. They soon would be, but he asked them to write this song. He writes her a song from a female's point of view about a guy that's taking advantage of her, and she's telling him to get lost. Lyrics. So even if he had been familiar with the Big Mama Thornton song, these are the lyrics that he's like, oh, it's kind of it's sort of a funny song. And there's an interview with Scotty where he's talking about that Elvis just thought this was the funniest thing.
So it's really turned from Mr. You're a hound dog.
Right.
You're just going out with the ladies all the time. You're a hound dog. It's become to, you're just nothing but a hound dog. I mean, that's really what they've made it into.
And barking throughout the song and everything. So it's really like they've taken this song and made it a joke, basically.
They neutered it.
They neutered it.
Good night.
But Elvis sees something in this. I think he sees that the crowd is reacting to this, and it's funny. You know, it's R&B based. It's 12-bar blues. You know, it's what he's used to. So he starts to, you know, work this idea into his act. So next slide, please. And what does he do? So now what does he do? He goes, his next national TV appearance, Milton Berle's show, which is on NBC, giant national audience. It's the first time he's on TV without his guitar. So what has he learned? He's learned that he doesn't need his guitar to perform. He can be a little bit more of a standard crooner who's standing and singing in a microphone. The first skit that he does where the girls rip off Milton Berle's clothes, you know that one. Then he does I Want You, I Need You, I Love You, which with the Jordanaires, which is completely expected. It's the new single. It's a ballad, very palatable to the national television audience. Good job, Elvis. You're promoting your new single. And then his second song, despite having lots of other songs to promote, lots of other songs that he has recorded and not released yet.
That's the important part. Other songs that are already recorded.
Yeah, and out. The whole first album is out. He could pick lots of different songs that would sell him records. But what does he do? He decides to do this song. And we're going to play the back half of it because it's the part that gets him in trouble. So, even if he wanted this to be sort of a comedic thing that he was doing, he turns it into this because he's Elvis.
I think he went to some other shows in Vegas.
Yeah, exactly. So it becomes this dangerous, sexy thing that's now put in front of everyone on television, and it's like, well, why would you do that if I'm the record company, right?
There were a lot of parents doing that.
Exactly. It's at this time the FBI gets involved after a show in Wisconsin where they're like, he's doing sex stuff on stage. You might want to look out for this guy. Promoters and radio stations start banning his other music, and on June 13th, Steve Allen actually issues a statement saying, I may have to cancel this guy on my show. Because Dorsey Brothers, audience was here. Milton Berle is here. Steve Allen is here. That's the Tonight Show.
Yeah.
And, the biggest audience. So he feels like he needs to say, like, maybe I shouldn't have this guy on my show now, even though it was already booked.
And this was controversy before the age of being able to go viral immediately with something. This is controversy of phone calls and letters.
He honors his commitment, both Steve and Elvis honor his commitment to go on the show on July 1st, okay? And he's back in New York, and he's gonna go on the Steve Allen show, and now Steve Allen thinks that he's gotta do this whole cover-up, basically, of Elvis and who he is. So he makes him do funny sketches, if you've seen the Tumbleweed Presley sketch. He makes him dress up in a tuxedo. And the most embarrassing thing is he makes him actually sing this song to a dog. So that there's no question that this song is about a dog, right? Right? It's not about sex, it's about a dog. So obviously, very uncomfortable doing this.
And for the first 7 or 8 seconds of the vocal, the close-up is the Hound Dog.
Oh yeah.
Like they're not even sure they want to show Elvis. He may be doing something over there. And in that first little break, you can see him go, I'm not going to do it. You really do go, ah.
He's told not to move.
Yeah.
Told not to move. So this infuriates him, obviously. And I was talking to Doc Walker and Sirius XM about, he had heard that the Elvis hated this tuxedo so much that right after the show he went outside and he threw it in a trash can. And I said, well, I bet you that's true, because if he didn't, Angie would have it.
Yeah.
And she doesn't.
Angie has the top hat that was on the dog.
She has the dog.
She has the dog. So and Steve Allen even says in that, there's a song you're going to be recording tomorrow, Hound Dog.
So think about that. That's where we're getting to, is he has this major controversy over the course of a month where people are now hating him or loving him more, depending on your point of view. And he has singles out, he has 2 singles out, he has a full-length record out. This song, he hasn't even recorded this song yet. So how many singles did he sell off of this big controversy? 0. He hasn't done it yet. So he goes in the studio the very next day in New York City. He is furious. He's so mad. So if you go to the next slide, and he does the famous recording session of Hound Dog and Don't Be Cruel in Any Way You Want Me.
And Robert talked about how
Yep.
Don't Be Cruel he had not heard until that day. They were listening to, he goes, oh, that one, we can do that.
Exactly. And he does 31 takes of Hound Dog. And this is the first time that people are like, oh, he's the producer. He's the one that's telling everybody what to do. He's not going to stop until he gets the thing he wants. And you can tell that he's furious about this. This is not a comedy record anymore. This is not a, some sort of a R&B cover that he's doing. This is now a mission that he's got for himself. So, and so they do it. It comes out, again, I don't know how they used to get records out so quickly, but it comes out July 13th. And it's quickly #1, and it is the biggest single of all time.
And notice it's a double A side.
Double A
so
side.
there are some that say Hound Dog, Don't Be Cruel, and others say Don't Be Cruel, Hound Dog.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just tell it twice. Why not?
Exactly.
And you look at that picture, and they knew what they were doing. I mean, of all the footage of that, did he ever look like that? You black out that dog, and that looks like a pretty cool picture of Elvis, regardless.
Yeah.
So, it's the biggest selling single until I think 1993. It gets usurped, but this is a massive thing. So again, I find it fascinating that he would have gone through this whole exercise of this controversy and sold 0 product from it.
And by take 31, do we know which is the master take that they use? Is it 31? Or?
It's not 31. It's in the 20s somewhere.
Okay,
but
okay.
He definitely was. He kept him going.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Elvis 101? Honest thoughts, because if people come to this and they see this vlog and
Right. I mean, it's not going to be the same thing next year, so it's not like they're going to have the same show with the same thing. Angie was cool, the archive lady. She's always very interesting. She brought some cool documents and things back from the 68 special, because, that's one of the big themes for this is the 68 special and the Aloha from Hawaii. That was cool.
I mean, overall, it's not something I would go to again. It was cool. I definitely learned a lot. It was 2 hours, so from 10 to 12. So we got a lot of information. There were 4 guest speakers. But yeah, I mean, not the best event, but not
not
the
bad.
worst thing.
No, right.
I definitely learned something. So I mean, as long as you walk out learning something new,
Yes.
that's all that matters. Also,
Yes.
I did not record it, but we went over to a different location and my mom actually got a real 14 karat, hold it up, TCB
Yep, the real
necklace
from Lowell Hayes, which obviously we know was the jeweler of Elvis, and he has all the original molds from all the jewelry that he made for Elvis, and he still sells it. And I got a cool little Elvis ring too. It was just a little, it's cool. And yep, and you get a authenticity letter, with it.
Just stating that it's authentic.
Yes, that it's authentic, and he signs it, and he signed my box, and we did took some pictures, but no, that was really cool. So I'm excited because this is what he used to give to all of his Memphis Mafia guys that work for him, and then if you were super, super, super special and a friend, you might get one. So, but this is a real one. So, and by the way, Elvis's ring size finger was a 10 because I asked today.
So now we are actually going to go head over to Graceland, get some lunch, get a snack. When the 68 special happens tonight around 7 o'clock, I will grab my camera and you guys will be able to see the 68 special. Not sure what it entails really, but I mean, we'll see.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 55th anniversary screening of Singer Presents Elvis. Commonly referred to as the 68 comeback. This was the first Elvis Presley television special, and it aired on NBC on December 3rd, 1968. This marked Elvis Presley's return to live performance following a 7-year absence from the stage, during which Elvis was focusing on his film career. The show was initially planned as a Christmas special by the network and Presley's manager, Colonel Tom Parker, but the producers created a show that would reflect the musical trends of the time and appeal to a younger audience. Filming took place in June of 1968 at NBC Studios in Burbank, California. The broadcast was overwhelmingly successful, becoming NBC's most watched television special of the 1968 Christmas season. This forever changed Elvis Presley's career path, taking him back to live stage performing. Here's a word about the show from Jerry Schilling.
The NBC special was a total reflection of Elvis Presley. There in the 68 special, you have gospel, you have country, you have rhythm and blues.
It's 55 years later, and I guess we did our job, because Elvis was an extraordinary person, and the only reason I got to meet him is because one morning I was in the studio and we were setting up the gospel number and the Pier number, and all of a sudden I looked over in the corner and there was Elvis standing. And I said to myself, well, that couldn't be Elvis, because everybody tells me he's out till midnight. And I said, no, it's a look-alike or it's somebody, it's not Elvis. But sure enough, it was. So I decided to go over, I introduced myself to him, and I found out he wanted to know all about what we were doing, how to perform on that stage area. I think he was very concerned when it came to dancers, because he had such a distinct way of moving. He didn't want anybody else to move like him. And he didn't have to worry about that because nobody could.
My name is Mike Dacey, and I play the guitar. And I actually invented rock and roll. I had a little help from Elvis and Eddie Cochran and a few other people. I played guitar on 40 of Elvis's recordings. It was a great honor, and 2 of his movies. But the greatest gift was playing on the 68 special, because it allowed me to participate with bringing a gift of God to another generation. Elvis had a great gift that God had given him, and he gave it freely to all who listened. And it was a great honor to be a part of that.
68 comeback special done. What did you think?
I thought it was excellent, good, especially with the singers and the people that talked and that worked with him, and I mean, it had me moving in my seat, and it was good.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. For me being newer to the Elvis fan club, it was pretty cool. I've never seen the full 68 comeback special. I mean, obviously from the Elvis movie, I saw parts of it. And then staying in Graceland at the guest house, they have it on the TV, so I've seen bits and pieces. They didn't show the whole thing tonight, but they showed specific points of the people that talked, where they were in the comeback special, so I thought that was pretty cool. And then hearing different points of view and seeing him sing and seeing everybody's emotions. People were crying, people were super emotional, but it was cool to be there because I kind of felt like I was watching.
Yeah, it was like we were in the audience,
right,
like watching it, because the speaker system and everything was so good. And then of course when they had the I guess would that be a quartet?
Yeah,
at the end,
I guess,
singing with them. Yeah, it literally felt like you were there.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I think that's why a lot of people were crying, because you felt like you were there, and then afterwards you know that he's not here, and it just was sad and emotional because he was such a phenomenal person.
Yeah.
So, but no, it was definitely a yes.
Yeah, definitely do that. Definitely worth it. The tickets were a little pricey, but it was pretty cool.
They won't have the same thing next year, but they have similar different things. So
Yeah, I mean, and that one was about an hour and 30 minutes.
yeah, about
So.
I think.
Yeah, but that's it for today's venture. We have, I want to say, like maybe 2 or 3 more vlogs coming of Elvis stuff, so be prepared. It's going to be a lot of Elvis stuff for the next week or 2. But that's it for today.
Can never get enough of Elvis.
See you
Thank you.
next
Thank you very
time.
much.
Bye.